ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So, okay, good morning. Nearly we reached to the end of the chapter. Almost all synapses will complete, and one more topic remaining, that is only graphs. About graphs, that means what are the graphs means? Velocity time graph, first of all displacement time graph, velocity time graph, acceleration time graph, like this. These are the graphs we have to discuss. So, before going to that, let us say one simple problem, one example problem. Let us say if a body freely falling from certain height, if a body is freely falling from certain height, so that height, that is minimum 10 centimeters above from the window, if a body freely falling from certain height, so what is the height means? 10 centimeters above the window, 10 centimeters above the window. The total distance travelled is 90 centimeters. The total distance travelled is 90 centimeters. So, here find the time taken to cross the window. That is the question. So, let us say it is the window. So, window, a body dropped from the roof, let us say that is 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters above the window. Here the body is dropped. The total distance travelled is here from, this is 90 centimeters up to the bottom of the total distance travelled up to the bottom of the window. Distance travelled up to bottom window is 90 centimeters. Total distance travelled up to the bottom of the window is 90 centimeters. So, if you see the diagram, the question will be clear. This is the 10 centimeters, and from this position to the bottom of the window, the distance travelled by the object is 90 centimeters. Now, we have to calculate what is the time taken to cross the window. So, that is the question. This is 10 centimeters distance and this total is 90 centimeters. Now, we have to calculate the time taken to cross this window. So, that is here two methods. First, here the body is dropped from the roof at this position. Body is dropped from the roof from this position. Here, what is the velocity on reaching the 10 centimeters? What is the velocity on reaching the 10 centimeters? Now, if we calculate the velocity at this position, and again from here to here the distance is 80 centimeters. This is total is 90 and this is 10, remaining is 80. So, S equals to ut plus half at square. Here we can calculate the velocity, and S equals to ut plus half at square. By using that equation, we know the S value. So, this is 10 and this is 90. Width of the window is 80 centimeters. Based on that equation we can calculate. So, otherwise one more one more method. Let us say here it is the freely falling body. Time taken to travel the distance 10 centimeters is. So here the body is freely falling. Here there is a freely falling body. The time taken by the freely falling body to travel the distance 10 centimeter. Time taken by the freely falling body to travel the distance of 10 centimeters. So T1 is equals to under root, let us say 2h by g. For any freely falling body, time can be written as, if the height is mentioned, for any freely falling body, if the height is mentioned, time can be written as under root 2h by g. So that is equals to under root 2h is 10 centimeters. Centimeters converts into meters. 1 centimeter equals to how many meters? 10 power minus 2. Or 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters. 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters. 1 centimeter equals to 10 power minus 2 meter. So that's why 10 into 10 power minus 2. G is considered as 9.8. So actually, so 2 into 10 to the power of minus 1 by 9.8. 10 power 1 minus 2, 10 power minus 1. So that is 2 by 9.8 into 10. So under root 2 by 98 to 49s, 1 by root 49. So therefore T1 is equals to 1 by 7. H is here how much? 10 centimeters. So 10 centimeters converts into meters, 10 into 10 power minus 2. So divided by G value I am considering here 9.8. So now 2 into 10 power, 10 into 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 1. 10 power minus 1 come to the denominator, 10. 9.8 into 10, 98, 249s. 1 by root 49 is 7. Next to, here we can calculate time taken to travel the distance 90 centimeters. So what is the time taken to travel the distance, total distance from this position to this position? 90 centimeter. Here also the body acts as the freely falling body. Here the body acts as a freely falling body. What is the distance traveled by the body? 10 centimeters. Here also the body is freely falling. So from this position to this position, total distance is 90 centimeters. Here the time taken is T2 is equals to, again it is also under root 2h by g. Under root 2 into h is 90 centimeters. Centimeters converts into meters, 10 point minus 2, 9.8. 90 into 10 power minus 2, 9 into 10 power minus 1 divided by 9.8. So that is equals to under root 2 into 9 by 98, root 9 by 49. So that is 3 by 7. T2 equals to under root 2h by g. H is 90 centimeters. 90 into 10 power minus 2. 90 into 10 power minus 2 gives 9 into 10 power minus 1. 9.8. So 10 power minus 1 come to the denominator. 9.8 into 10, that is 98. So that is root of 9 by 49, 3 by 7. From this position to this position, the time taken is 1 by 7. From here to here, the time taken is 3 by 7. Therefore, time taken to cross the window. Time taken to cross the window, that is equals to T2 minus T1. That is 3 by 7 minus 1 by 7. So 2 by 7. Time taken to cross the window is T2 minus T1, that is 3 by 7 minus 1 by 7. That value is 2 by 7. See here. So this is the 90 centimeters. What is the time taken to cross this 90 centimeters? To travel this 90 centimeters? Under root 2h by g. That is 3 by 7. Why we can use under root 2h by g? Here it is a freely falling body. Next, time taken to travel 10 centimeters. So 10 centimeters. Again here also we are using 2h by g under root. Why it is under root 2h by g? So because the distance traveled, here also it acts as a freely falling body. So see here, from equation S is equals to ut plus half at square, distance is let us say h, freely falling body 0 into t, freely falling body gt square, h is equals to half gt square, 2h by g is equals to t square. So t is equals to under root 2h by g. So if the height is mentioned, the time of descent formula is under root 2h by g. It is a when this condition, if it is only freely falling body. So 2h by g we can use if it is a vertically projected body. If it is vertically projected body, if it reaches to the maximum height, then also the time can be written as under root 2h by g. So that is the situation. So this is one method. One more method, how can we do this problem? By using one more method. So after travelling through the distance, velocity, from equation v square minus u square equals to 2as, v square minus 0 square is 2 into g is 9.8, s is 10 centimeters. Sorry, 10 into 10 power minus 2. What is the velocity on reaching the 10 centimeters distance? Velocity on reaching the 10 centimeters distance. V square minus u square equals to 2as. Here the body is freely falling. That's why initial velocity is 0. V square equals to 2gh. G is 9.8. S distance traveled is 10 centimeters. So V square is equals to 2 into 9.8 into 10 power minus 1. 2 into 0.98, 1.96. Therefore, V is equals to 1.4. V square is 1.96. V is equals to 1.4. Where it is V? Velocity of the body at this position. Velocity of the body at this position is 1.4. Now, from here to here, from equation S is equals to ut plus half at square. From here to here, the distance traveled is 80 centimeters. 80 into 10 power minus 2. Velocity is 1.4 into t plus half g is 9.8 t square. This becomes quadratic equation again. Quadratic equation. To solve this quadratic equation, roots 1.4 t 9.8, it is points. It is somewhat difficult. Of course, based on this also we can get the answer, but this is somewhat difficult. So to calculate the velocity first, and then we can use s equals to ut plus half at square. This becomes quadratic equation, and we can find out the roots here. This is lengthy process. Simply only one formula here, under root 2h by g once, under root 2h by second case, t2 minus t1. This is the one model. So next, come to the concept graphs. How can you draw the graphs this? So for different conditions, we can draw the graphs for different conditions. Different conditions. Different conditions means when the body is at rest, when the body moves with uniform velocity, when the body moves with acceleration. So for different conditions, we can draw the graphs. First of all, how can we draw the graph? This is only two-dimensional. You know the graph paper. For example, graph paper. So simple way to draw this, like this. Let us say this one. So this is considered as origin, and this is, let us say, x-axis, and this is y-axis, x-axis and y-axis. So while drawing the graph, along x-axis we have to consider one physical quantity, along y-axis we have to consider one more physical quantity. So we are drawing the graph for two physical quantities. Along x-axis we will consider one physical quantity, along y-axis we will consider one more physical quantity for those two. So for example, here I am considering time, here it is, let us say, displacement or velocity or acceleration, whatever it is, if we consider like this. So we know the points x comma y, x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3, x4 y4, x5 y5, like that. So 0 0, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4, like that. It's a graph paper, just like 0 0. So this one, x component is 1, y component is 1, x is 1, y is 1. So this is the point, x is 1, y is 1. So x1, 1 comma 1, this is the position of 1 comma 1. Next 2 comma 2, x is 2, y is 2, 2 comma 2, 3, 3, let us say 3 comma 3, like that. If we join all these points, we can get the graph. I think all of you know how to draw these graphs like this, or this value x 0 0, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 4, or 3 comma 6, like that. That is also we can draw 0 comma 0, 1 comma 2, this is 1, this is 2, this one 2 comma 4, this is 2, this is 4, 3 comma 6, this is 3, this is 6. If you draw the graph like this one, like that. This is a way to draw the graph paper. By using the graph paper, we can draw like this. In the same way, we will discuss about the shape of the graph for different conditions of the body. If the body is at rest, what is the shape of the graph? If the body is in motion means if it is moves with uniform velocity, if it moves with acceleration, or if it moves with retardation in different situations, what is the shape of the graphs? That we can discuss. Actually, this is the way to design the graph here. So first condition, displacement time graphs. Displacement time graphs. Displacement time graph. If you draw the graph between displacement and time for different situations, what are the shapes of the graphs? We have to discuss about that. So first one is, if the body is at rest, first condition, if the body is at rest, then what happens? How can you draw the graph for this? Body is at rest. So body is at rest means, what is the definition for the rest position? How can you define the body is at rest? So the position of the body does not changes with respect to time. The position of the body does not changes with respect to time. That is called rest position. So that is the situation. If the body is at rest. So let us say I am considering time is taken along x-axis and displacement is taken along y-axis. Displacement is denoted with S and it is denoted with T. How can we represent the graph for this condition? What is that condition? Body is at rest. Body is at rest. For this condition, how can we represent the graph? So that is important. Body is at rest means Position of the body does not changes with respect to time. Of course the time changes. Of course the time changes, but the position of the body does not changes. So the time increases. 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second. Time continuously increases. But position of the body does not changes. Position of the body does not changes. So that's important here. Here let us say it is 0 origin. Time increases, but displacement does not changes. So let us say initial displacement. Initially it is having certain position along y-axis. So let us say first point is 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2 like that. So first what we are writing x by x1 by 1, x2 by 2, x3 by 3. That means x component first and y component next. So x component is 0 first, y component is 2, x component is 1, y component is 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. That means x component gradually increases, but there is no change in the position of the y component. How can you draw this graph? 0, 2. Next let us say it is 1, it is 2. Next 2, 2, this is 1, this is 2, 2. Next 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2 like this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. This is 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2. If you join all these points, this is 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2 like that. If you join all these lines, what is the shape? What is the shape of the graph? Straight line parallel to x-axis. The shape of the graph is straight line parallel to x-axis. So that is the shape. So that means how can you represent the body is at rest? So let us say forget about all this. So now simply let us say. So if the body is at rest, how can you represent this graph? Body is at rest. How can we represent this graph? Straight line parallel to x-axis. So that is the shape of the graph. For what and what we are drawing the graphs here? For the displacement and time we are drawing the graph. For displacement and time we are drawing the graph. In case of displacement time graph, let us say it is time, displacement time graph. How can you represent this condition? What is this condition? Body is at rest. How can you represent this? Straight line parallel to x-axis. The shape of the graph is straight line parallel to x-axis. That is the first condition. Next, second condition. So body moves with uniform velocity. Body moves with uniform velocity. Second condition. So first body is at rest. Now come body is in motion. How the body moves? How the body moves? Moves with uniform velocity. Uniform velocity. What is the condition of uniform velocity? Previous classes we discussed already. What is meant by uniform velocity? Uniform velocity in the sense equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Equal displacements of the body in equal intervals of time. That is called, what is that? Equal displacements in equal intervals of time. That is called body moves with uniform velocity. See here, displacement time. Displacement time. So the condition is equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Let us say, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. So the displacement, what is the intervals? 0 to 1, 1 meter, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, sorry, 3 to 2, 4 to 3, 5 to 4, 6 to 5. So each interval is 1 meter, let us say. Equal displacement. The time taken to travel, here it is 1 second, here also 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, like this. Equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Equal displacements in equal intervals of time. This is called, what is that? Uniform velocity. So here it is 0, 0, 1 comma 1. From here to here it is 2 comma 2. This is 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4, 5 comma 5, 6 comma 6, like that. Here the time is 0. Displacement is also 0. From here, this position to this position, time is 1 second. Displacement is 1 second. From here to here, the time is 1 second plus 1 second, 2 seconds here. The displacement is also 2 seconds. Next, here the time is 3 seconds. Displacement is also 3 seconds, like that. So how can you represent this in terms of graph? 0 comma 0, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1, next 2 comma 2, so 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4, 5 comma 5, like that. If you join all these points, this is the shape of the graph. So what is the shape of the graph here? Straight line passing through the origin. Straight line passing through origin. This is the shape of the graph. So this is the body moves with uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Equal displacements in equal intervals of time. This is the shape of the graph. Straight line passing through origin. For what condition it is? Body moves with uniform velocity. Body moves with uniform velocity. What is the shape of the graph? This one. So here one more condition is, so this is the displacement time graph. This displacement time graph here. For this graph, slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. That's we have to remember, very, very important. Slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. Slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. So this is the situation now. What is meant by the slope? Everybody know about that. So m is equals to dy by dx, slope, or change in y component divided by change in x component. This is the slope. Generally is y is equals to mx plus c. Slope equation. Y equals to mx plus c, where m is slope. Here c is equals to 0 because the graph is passing through the origin. What is the c? Y intercept. Here there is no y intercept. That's why c is 0. Y equals to mx. M is equals to y by x. M is equals to y by x. So the slope of the graph. Slope means y component by x component. Slope in the sense here y component by x component. So m is equals to y by x or dy by dx. Change in y component divided by change in x component. So this is the slope of the graph. So how can you calculate the slope? So slope gives, slope m is equals to y component by x component. What is the y component here? Displacement, change in displacement. So that is ds divided by time dt. Change in y component divided by change in x component. So that is ds by dt. So ds by dt, rate of change of displacement gives what? Velocity. So therefore velocity is equals to, so ds by dt, or simply we can write displacement by time, y component by x component, y component by x component. So this slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. This is the important point here. How can we calculate the slope? Slope in the sense change in y component, change in y component. What is the y component here? Displacement. What is x component? Time. So change in y component by change in x component, that is ds by dt or s by t. That gives what? That gives displacement. Sorry, velocity. So ds by dt or s by t, s by t. So this is the situation. So our one more condition is, if theta is given, how can you calculate the slope? We don't know anything. If only theta is mentioned in the problem, how can we calculate the slope? So the slope is equals to tan theta. If only theta is mentioned, how can we calculate the slope? Means just we have to calculate tan theta. For what? To calculate the slope. When it will be? If only angle mentioned. Slope is equals to tan theta. So tan theta formula, opposite side by adjacent side. What is opposite side here? For this theta, if we consider this is displacement and this is time, tan theta value, opposite side by adjacent side. What is opposite side? Displacement. Adjacent side is time. So displacement by time is velocity. So if theta is mentioned, how can I calculate the slope? Simply we can calculate tan theta. So tan theta. So this is the condition, body moves with uniform velocity. So these are the two conditions we discussed. Body is at rest and body moves with uniform velocity. Body is at rest and body moves with uniform velocity. Here what is the shape of the graph? Straight line parallel to x axis and it is straight line passing through origin. The slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. How can we calculate the slope? Change in y component by change in x component. Or if angle is mentioned, simply we can calculate tan theta. So next. So here let us say an example in this. This is time and this is displacement. We have two graphs. Let us say it is V1 and it is V2. Let us say it is 30 degrees, 60 degrees. So here two graphs are given. What is that? One is V1, another one is V2. So one angle is 30, another angle is 60. Which one is more? V1 is more or V2 is more? How can we calculate this? V1 is more or V2 is more? So what is V1 here? Slope of first displacement time graph. Let us say this is the first graph. So just now we discussed slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. So here V1 is the first one. So for V1, so angle is mentioned, tan theta is equals to V1. So what is the value here? Tan 30 is equals to V1. So therefore V1 is equals to tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So that is V1 is the slope of first graph. Let us say first line and is second line. So V1 is the slope of the first displacement time graph. Therefore tan theta is equals to V1. Tan theta is 30 for first graph, for first line. What is angle? 30. So tan theta V1 is equals to 1 by root 3. Next here V2 is slope of second displacement time graph. V2 is the slope of the second displacement time graph. Slope of the second displacement time graph. So in this situation, tan theta is equals to V2. So for second line, what is the angle? 60. So tan 60 is equals to V2. So root 3 is equals to V2. So V1 is 1 by root 3 and V2 is root 3. Which one is more? Definitely V2 must be greater than V1. So root 3 value is greater than 1 by root 3. So that is V2 greater than V1. And let us say V1 by V2, ratio of velocities. 1 by root 3 divided by root 3. So 1 by root 3 into root 3, 1 by 3. So V1 by V2 is equals to 1 by 3 or V2 by V1 is equals to 3 by 1. The options may be anyways like this. So V1 simply, how can we do this type of problems means slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. Slope, if angle is mentioned, how can you find out the slope? Tan theta. So for first one tan 30, for second one tan 60. Directly without all this, if you are perfect in this situation, one step answer here. So let us say V1 by V2 is equals to tan 30 by tan 60, tan 30 by tan 60, that is 1 by root 3. One step answer it is. For understanding purpose, we are doing like this. But if you are perfect in these concepts, so one step answer it is. V1 by V2 is equals to tan theta 1 by tan theta 2, because slope of displacement time graph gives velocity. If you know this one, if you want to find out the slope, and what is mentioned here? Angle mentioned. If angle mentioned, how can you calculate slope? Tan theta. So tan theta 1 by tan theta 2. That's simple. Next. Next. So we discussed about two graphs here. Body at rest, body moves with uniform velocity. Next condition, body moves with non-uniform velocity. Body moves with non-uniform velocity. Body moves with non-uniform velocity. Non-uniform velocity means unequal displacements in equal intervals of time, or unequal time intervals, equal displacements, or unequal time intervals, unequal displacements, whatever it is. So equal displacements in equal intervals of time, that is uniform velocity. Unequal displacements in equal intervals of time. So see here. So for example, this is the situation. So it's a 1 meter and let us say 1 second. 2 meters. Here let us say 3 seconds. And it is 3 meters. Let us say 5 seconds here. Like that. And what are the coordinates here? 1, 1, 2, 4. From here to here, total is 4 seconds and it is 3 meters. So 3, 8, like that. Total time 1 second, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, total 8. If you draw this graph, so displacement time, so it is 0, 1, 1. Next to 2, 4, next to 3, 8, like that. 3, 8. So let us say they may be like that, 3, 8. So the shape of the graph is like that. So that means if the body moves with non-uniform velocity, so the shape of the displacement time graph is displacement time graph is maybe like that. Maybe sometimes velocity increases, maybe sometimes velocity decreases, maybe sometimes more displacement, maybe sometimes less displacement, unequal. So that is called non-uniform velocity. Non-uniform velocity. Body moves with non-uniform velocity here. So next condition. Body moves with